Sugarcane has been a part of Hawaii's history for over 150 years. During the 1800s, sugar became Hawaii's largest industry, and people came here from all over the world to work in the fields. Since then, tourism has grown and sugarcane has become less profitable. Today, Hawaiian Commercial and Sugar farms Hawaii's last 35,000 acres of sugarcane. Even though sugarcane is an important part of our history, there are a lot of questions about the future of sugarcane on Maui. First, there is the battle over the water diverted from streams in East and West Maui, which is used by HC&S and other water users. But an even bigger issue for most people is the burning of sugarcane during harvest time that causes many complaints.
For the past month especially, I've had a lot of complaints because of the prevailing weather conditions. People contact me mainly because their health is being impacted or their children's health. They have concerns. It's not just the visual appearance and a lot of smoke, obscuring the scenic views of Maui. It's because people are having health issues and problems.
HC&S burns the cane before harvesting to get rid of the extra green material before the stalks are processed into sugar. The leftover stalks after the sugar is extracted, called bagasse, is used in the mill to produce around 7% of Maui's electricity. A possible alternative to cane burning is called green harvesting, where the green stalks are cut by machine instead of burning them. So why hasn't HC&S switched to green harvesting?
There's a lot of times when you want something, but you can't have it because the circumstances aren't correct. And that's the case for us between burning and green harvest. If we could, we would green harvest, but as we do that, number one, we have to make sure that our company stays viable, that we can continue to provide employment for our 800 workers. Number two, that it's going to be right for Maui.
It's difficult to know the exact reasons why HC&S hasn't switched to green harvesting, but I think they're mainly financial. At least that's what they've told me. They've said it would cost them too much to switch to green harvesting technology. The fields are too rocky. It would hurt their equipment.
So if we're going to use equipment like this, number one, we would have to pick up the rocks. To pick up the rocks, the equipment that is used to do that literally digs into the soil, brings it up to the ground, shakes it so all the soil drops, it picks up the rock and throws it in the back of the equipment. The dust that it's going to create is going to be horrendous. We're going to create dust in place of smoke. I don't know that the people of Maui will be happier.
But for some people, dust is already a problem.
And this last one is taken through the windshield of somebody's car, and it shows all the dust obscuring the Mokulele Highway on the way to Kihei because they were tilling hundreds of acres. So that brings up another issue, which is fugitive dust. Topsoil blowing into the wind, and ultimately it blows out, settles on the ocean and onto the reefs at Malaya.
But now, a federally funded biofuel study involving HC&S, University of Hawaii, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Energy is providing $4 million a year for 5 years to see if HC&S's land and mill could be used to make biofuels.
We're not sure what form that fuel is going to take, whether it's going to be fuel for the Navy, or it could be for electricity for the people of Maui, or it could be for transportation fuels. We don't know. We just have to see which fuels type we can produce economically where the people can afford it.
This study could bring an end to cane burning by making green harvesting more profitable or by causing HC&S to switch to another crop. But finding the right biofuel crop is not easy.
When you develop a crop, you look at everything. Variety, water, fertilizer, how does it handle salt, and in places like Maui, how does it handle wind?
And then you have to make sure that the energy the crop can produce is more than what it takes to grow and process the crop. HC&S is currently growing 2 biofuel test crops.
One that you hear a lot about is sorghum, and this is energy sorghum. It grows very well, but it's also daylight sensitive. What daylight sensitive means is when the day lengths get shorter, the plants also get shorter. and then ultimately we have sugar cane. But this cane is not sugar cane, but it's what we call energy cane. So in other words, it produces very little sugar, and what it does is it uses its photosynthesis to produce biomass.
But each CNS is not the only company looking for ways for Hawaii to grow its own fuel.
All the biodiesel we make in the state of Hawaii right now comes from used cooking oil. And there's only a limited supply of that, maybe at the most about 2 million gallons in the state of Hawaii. And the state of Hawaii uses about 50 million gallons a year of diesel fuel on the road. So if we want to make a significant impact, we have to go beyond the used cooking oil. So we are planning to do some biofuel crops. Right now on Oahu, we're growing sunflowers, safflower, camelina, and we've got folks growing kukui and jatropha. After our first crop of sunflower, we feel fairly successful, and this is a plant that takes about a quarter of the water of sugarcane and a tenth of the water of growing vegetables. I get asked this question all the time, what crop is the best crop? There's not one best crop, and I think a mix of crops is going to be the answer, because we obviously need some land for food. In the state, we import about 85% of our food into the state, and so we need some more food security as well as energy security. I think it's very important to not monocrop in the state of Hawaii. We've done that for years, for decades with the sugar and with pineapple, and we really ruined a lot of the land. So that's what we're looking for, is crops that have lower impact on the earth, crops that have lower inputs, and that will develop oil quickly.
For some of us, it is hard to imagine Maui without sugarcane. For others, the end of cane burning would be a dream come true. Either way, the need for more food and energy sustainability on Maui may mean that change is inevitable.
There's a lot of available agriculture land here that if we don't grow something on it, we're going to get more condos.
I think expansion on the energy front makes sense, and if we can find the correct technology, it will happen. I can tell you right now, it will not happen in the next 2 years. Whether it's in 5, 10, 15, I don't know. It depends on how quickly things progress. But we will evolve. We have to if we're going to be around.
I'm really interested in looking for win-win solutions for both the community and the plantation. So we can talk about solutions and not just point fingers and say, we're really upset and I can't breathe today and all that, but look for ways that this can be economically viable for the plantation and environmentally viable for the health of our community.